think I'll wait till mid's away to take a tour of her dungeon.
Jill's staying here, and that's that. I should have never let her go with you to Rosalith.
I'm sorry. I'll let my fear get the better of me. I'm ready to be stronger. For the hideaway.
How goes the hunt for Kupka?
Largely in circles. We have myriad sightings of strange soldiers in unexpected... If only we knew for certain...
Well, if anyone can piece this puzzle together, it's you.
What? Here?
Would that be a problem?
Do you know, Clive? I believe it a mercy that you didn't inherit your father's throne. Your poor people would surely live in fear of you.
You have nothing to worry about on that front. I won't be claiming his crown.
Clive, have you got a minute? We, have a guest.
A guest?
For your trouble.
It was a pleasure, in hindsight.
Uncle Byron? Clive, my boy! Tap a cask and stoke the ovens for your favourite uncle is here!
The Dhalmekian government sues for peace. How shall we respond?
If they're willing to accept their fault in the matter, I see no reason to refuse them.
Still, we must insist on substantial reparations. The Twinside stores are not as bottomless as reported.
Aye, and we have many more mouths to feed. We shall just have to have the Dhalmeks empty their treasuries for us.
Of course, none of this would have been possible without your timely intervention, Prince Olivier.
Indeed, I doubt any of us would have had the courage to trade words with the mighty Titan, nor less the wit to win him over.
The Empire owes you a great debt.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you, Your Highness.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
Very good.
Now, let us come to the question of precisely when the Dhalmeks will withdraw their troops.
Dion's fire could rid us of them in mere moments. The men of the Fist will not withdraw until a peace treaty is concluded. So let us keep the negotiations open, give them time to gather what gold and trinkets they can, and once they deliver that which we demand, what worth is a piece of parchment?
Your Radiance, were Prince Dion to take the field, the enemy would surely send their own dominant to meet him. And while His Highness would of course prevail, there would be heavy losses on both.
You need not fear Hugo Kupka. He is engaged on the Western Front. Even were the Dalmex to send for him, he would not arrive in time. As much as I would enjoy witnessing a clash between Bahamut and Titan, it is not to be.
And what of your subjects, Your Radiance? If the fighting spread to the city proper, the people would bear the brunt of it.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on. Dion?
Yes, sire.
Prepare for battle.
But sire...
Do not make me repeat myself. Return to your camp and await my orders.
If that is your wish, Your Radiance, I shall depart at once. May Gregor forgive you.
What do the astrologers augur?
The stars are in agreement, Your Radiance. The shadow of treachery hangs over Prince Dion.
So Annabella's tales were true. You disappoint me, Dion.
What on earth is Uncle Byron doing here? Only one way to find out.
The Litlans have been up to their old... It's just one thing after another around here.
My dear Neff, through the good offices of young Sir Wade. As are you, I hear. Which is why I came, to learn the full...
You were working with the Guardians of the Flame to evacuate the people of Rosalith de Port Isolde.
I was, aye.
Then I have questions for you.
Gladly. You there? There are 2,000 gold talents in those chests. See that they're added to my nephew's coffers, would you?
2,000?
And I'm afraid...
A fleet sailing south past Port...
Forgive me for not being able to tell you more. I hadn't the faintest idea Kupka withdrew wounded from Rosalith.
What do you think, Vivian?
I think, with this news of the Dhalmekian fleet and recent reports of the Royalists' movements, that the final piece of the puzzle has fallen into place. Come here and I'll show you. It is known that Kupka's forces entered Rosaria via its unguarded coast. So can the same be said of your visitors from Waloed? Certainly her Royal Navy is famed for the efficiency with which it bears her knights from one battlefield to the next. And in the Einherjar, or Black Galleon, she boasts a vessel nigh as swift and every bit as feared as the kingdom's legendary cavalry. A fitting flagship for a land apart, her naval presence being crucial to her ambitions beyond Ash. Yes, it seems safe to assume that the Royalists did indeed enter Rosaria from the sea. So then, had you a vested interest in Titan's survival, whither would you take him? Why, home to Drake's Fang, a place rich enough in ether to conjure the magics needed to mend his hurts. But would that not entail an arduous voyage around the southern cape? Let us say that the Royalists did put ashore with a mind to spirit Kupka away from under your very nose. Could that truly have been their plan for him? To load him aboard one of the ships flying Republican colors sighted off the coast near Port Isolde. To spend weeks at sea, being tossed hither and yon by unforgiving waves, his life hanging in the balance. No. The journey would mean Titan's death, and Kupka's faithful creatures would not allow it. So what then was the plan of our Waluda friends? Reports suggest they made not for the coast, but for the desert. And by cutting through the Velcroy, a party traveling light would have Titan back in his bed days before a galley could lurch into port. To wit, it was the Royalists, not the Republicans, who effected Hugo Kupka's safe retreat. I would stake your life on it.
So it was the Waluders who spirited the wretch away. Now I think about it, there was something a little strange about the ships I saw. The men seemed almost crestfallen, as if in mourning, as if they believed, or were made to believe, that their master was dead.
You have a keen mind, Lord Rosfield. And you have your answer. To find Kupka, you have merely to follow. It may well have gone cold by now. But as they say in the Republic, all roads lead to Drake's Fang.
Allow me to... As luck would have it, I had intended to journey Canberward on business after visiting you here. The Fang would be...
I'd be glad of the company. Give me a moment to make ready. I need to...
Very well, but be quick about it, my boy.
Ah, my favorite pupil. Lord Byron Rosfield. I heard tell. Why? What is it that you wish to learn? One must understand one's place in the world.
Mid's finished outfitting her little workshop, I hear.
Otto. Coop.
You're not going in there?
Don't worry. I'm not going there to destroy the Mother Crystal. I won't risk any more than I have to.
The Lancer and the Fang are all Kupka's personal fiefdom. You have any trouble on the way, you ask for Rosina Dalimil. Some call her the Desert Hare.
Who is she?
An old associate of Sid's. And only Sid's. All I know is the name. We've heard nothing from her since he died. But I'm thinking maybe the new...
Thanks.
So, what about your uncle? I mean, he's welcome to stay, but...
Don't look so worried.
Thank fuck for that.
Gav, Otto, I'm leaving you to it.
You can count on her.
What's wrong, Gav?
It's this gold your uncle gave us. Are you sure it's all right for us to take it?
My uncle isn't easily refused, especially where dispersing his wealth is concerned.
But 2,000 talents. I don't even know how much that is in Gil.
It's the price of a quayside mansion in the Crystalline Dominion. He sold one to fund our endeavor. He was hoping to part with it anyway, what with war brewing in the region. And, luckily for him, a Sambraquan noble was willing to pay over the odds for a foothold in the Holy Emperor's neighborhood.
But still, 2,000 talents? I mean, is it normal for nobles to give away that kind of money?
It's normal for my uncle.
Fuck me. Oh.
Well, now that we've got a few gil to rub together, do you think it'd be all right if I splashed out on a few bottles of Lostwing's finest?
Here, leave some for the rest of us, Otto. If he's filling his cellar, I'm filling our larder, starting with a barrel of the best salt-cured northern salmon.
I'll leave you to decide how best to use it.
I heard they call Rosina the Desert Hare on account of how little escapes her ears. That and her habit of bolting at the first sign of danger. But if she knew Sin was looking for her, she might just be tempted back out of her burrow.
All right, Uncle.
We shall. I was a young man when last I walked this path. There's an old trading post not far from here. The road to Drake's Fang leads through it.
The trading post it is. Ready, go?
Faster! Our destination lies over that dune, beyond the ruins. Mark them well, Clive. It's all too easy to lose one's bearings in the sands.
Back to the stables, girl.
All yours, Torvald!
see a thing.
Come, Clive! Let us turn back before we lose our way!
Let's go.
Yeah!
All right. Time to fight. You deserve a rest. Good girl.
Faster!
Many years ago, when you were just a boy, you and I rode this way together. Accompanying your father on a scouting expedition to Drake's Fang.
He let me come with you.
I'm not surprised you don't remember. It was just before Joshua was born. You were so eager to be there when your brother arrived that you whipped your chocobo too hard on the journey home and fell from the saddle. I shall never forget how Elwyn fussed over you as you sat in the sand, bawling like a babe. Have you lost your way already, my boy? The ruins mark the road to the inn.
Be safe. Well, Clive, it looks like you're gonna need me to this hard.
Shell. Fly, Ambrosia.
do you think those soldiers were in the inn?
Friends of friends, I'd wager. Not that they look very friendly.
So, Lord Cook has finally made his move.
Yes, I expect that's why there's so many soldiers in town, to deal with any Imperial reprisals.
Yeah! Ah, there she is. The good old Dalamil Inn. Do you know, this heat has given me quite a thirst. Quick drink before we press on?
After it. Where would I be without you? Get it, boy! Look, there. Those are Ashen steeds. No doubt about it.
And such a long ride from Stonehair. Our Waluda friends must be soothing their saddle sores in the inn. Shall we join them? Run along and play now, Torgal. Dogs aren't allowed inside.
Good day to you. Eating?
Sorry about my pal. He only talks when his mouth's full. What do you recommend?
Well, if you're after something light, we do a fine chocobo soup with lentils and honey.
2 bowls of that, then. An ale.
Right you are.
Hey, girl!
Coming!
Your pal?
Would you rather be my squire?
Grace, it is plain you are not yet well enough to travel. If you would only let me take you to someone who can better attend to your ills.
No, we must press on. Prince Dion has returned to his camp and will soon depart for the front. I must speak with him at all costs. Miss this chance and I may never get another. You do understand that?
Yes, Your Grace. But you must at least agree to take your medicine. I'll fetch you some water.
Keep watch, they tell us. But all I see is sand.
I hear they got our guest back to the Fang without any trouble. We'll be leaving soon enough.
Why the Lord Commander dragged us all this way just to save that blockhead skin, I'll never know. Dominant or not, he's a bloody idiot.
That'll be Kupka, then.
Well, let's get this down us. We've a long way to go.
Hey, you!
Uncle?
Sorry.
Can you walk, Your Grace?
What's wrong?
I fear trouble may be brewing downstairs.
You two are travelers, are you not? Me and my companions are strangers here. Perhaps you'd be good enough to accompany us a while. Help us find our way.
Sorry, lads, but we've got business in Camber that can't wait.
Ah, I'm sure you could spare us an hour or two. Friend.
I'm afraid we don't have a moment to lose. Stay back, Uncle.
Gladly.
It's the outlaw. Take him.
Try it.
Bravo, my boy! Just like that!
your trouble. Word of advice, miss. That soup could do with a touch more salt.
Now's our chance. Your Grace?
I'm fine.
Clive? What is it now?
It's nothing. Let's go.
Well, we didn't know where to find Kupka before. We do now.
The Royalists said it themselves. Their guest is in the Fang. We should press on before any more of their friends turn up.
Ah, they've closed the road. And it's the only way from here to the Fang. It would seem Lord Kupka is not accepting visitors at present.
We have to get through that gate.
Not by force, I trust. We've attracted quite enough unwanted attention already.
By guile, then. Perhaps the Desert Hare can offer.
Rosina Dalamil. But how will we find her?
And that she was working with Cid's other collaborators have all been people of means. The wealthiest and most successful members of their communities. I'll wager this Rosina Dalamil is the same.
That would certainly help to narrow the search. We need only inquire as to who is in charge of the town.
And that's exactly what I mean to do.
Good day, my lord. My thanks. Fare you well.
Looks like we won't be getting back to Drake's Fang anytime
Well, it's not like we've got a reason to.
Anything I can help? Allow me. My good man, we represent one of the oldest, and we're seeking to expand our business in the region and would very much like to make the acquaintance of Dalimil's leading entrepreneurs. If only we knew where to find them.
Well, we're best known for our baths, our markets, and our smithies. I suppose you could do worse than start your search at one of those.
Thank you. You've been most helpful. Oh, you wouldn't happen to know a lady by the name of Rosina Dalimil, would you?
No. I can't say I do.
Well, thank you all the same.
Dalimil is famous for its spas, its markets, and its smithies. Somebody at one of those might be able to help you.
What do you want? Can't you see?
I won't keep you long. A woman by the name of...
Never heard of her. Is that...
One more question. If I wanted to find the richest trader in town, where would you recommend that I look?
Well, that's easy. The Briar's Kiss. Won't find a finer smithy this side of the strait. The owner's only a young sprig, but he's got all the right ideas.
The Briar's Kiss, you say?
I doubt this young sprig is the person we're looking for. You said Sid's contact was likely to be an influential sort. Influence comes with age and experience. Believe you me.
That boy at the Briar's Kiss is a real talent. People flock from miles around to buy his steel. And it isn't cheap, either.
Mummy, I want to play with the crystal. How many times do I have to tell you? It's not a toy.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking a long-standing pillar of your community.
Then you should ask Ferda. He's been here for years. Knows the place and its people like try the baths. That's where you'll usually...
Thank you kindly. Well, it sounds like we have our man.
Perhaps. Let's go and find out exactly what this Ferda knows.
Hanging lanterns, keep the darkness from your door.
Excuse me. Are you...
I am.
I hope so. Do you know Rosina Dalimil?
And what business do you have with the Desert Hare?
She was a close friend of mine. I was hoping she might be able to help me.
Very well. Go to the Bordello. I'll arrange... I know who you're looking for. Go to the Bordello and wait there.
Do you think we can trust him?
Only as far as... I think he trusts us.
So you're the ones who've been sniffing around?
I beg your pardon?
Don't play the fool. Stick your nose in our business and you're likely to lose it. Titan!
Who are you working for? Him or her?
Him. The boss. He wanted us to test you.
Though one could hardly call that a test.
Lord Ferda?
Look what the cat dragged in.
Your skill with the blade is rare indeed, my lord. A fitting talent for an...
You know who I am. So what now? Call in the Men of the Rock and collect the bounty?
That isn't my decision to make. Our work is done. Take him to meet his precious Rosina. She will be interested to make his acquaintance.
Yes, my lord. To the Lock of Leisure, then.
To the Lock of Leisure.
$1,000 for a measly bunch of Gazal greens.
Made from the stoutest stoneware.
Fresh bread. Warm from the oven. Here, have a taste.
Take a sniff, good sir. You'll be transported.
The finest fabrics!
Is this the place?
Lubor's Forge. So it was the young sprig after all. So much for Rosina Dalamil being a woman of experience.
It was an easy mistake to make, Uncle. After all, it must... Sorry, him. Whoever this Lubor truly is, he's clearly a man.
See that he gets it. Lubor, Lord Ferda told me to bring them to you.
My boys tell me you're in need of assistance. Sid the Second?
I won't waste your time. I need passage through the south gate.
Tell me, what do you think is a merchant's most important commodity? Why, trust. Everyone knows that. Without it, you have nothing. And nothing is exactly what you have. And so, for you, I, too, have nothing. I'm not in the business of helping every lost puppy that wanders in off the street. I'm a busy man, as you can see.
Let's leave this mummer to his farce.
By all means. Find someone else to help you on your way. Just be sure to tell them you're not the two travelers from the inn the guards are looking for. Don't want them jumping to conclusions, do we?
Why, you...
So, what do we need to do to earn your trust?
I like this one. Willing to do whatever it takes to get what he wants. Ha! Men like you have a special place in my heart. Why, you ask? Because they get me what I want. Always.
Fine. So what do you want?
Don't tell me you're going to listen to this swaggering...
We might as well hear him out. Assuming he is an ally, of course. 5 years...
And yet even then I had more good sense. But enough of the... I want you to put an end to the trouble. Return to me when you have done so, and you shall have my aid.
What trouble? If you're going to give...
Manners, Greybeard. One catches more damselflies with honey than with vinegar.
What did...
My apologies. A word of it. Follow the crystal. Oh, but that was 3. Oh, I'm making this too easy for you.
Ha! It will be easy. Solving his little riddle should be like dealing with him. Child's play. Let us divide our forces, Clive. I'd rather not drag this...
I thought we were the only ones causing trouble in Dalamil. Excuse me. Is it true there's been trouble with Crystal?
You've heard, then?
I've heard rumors.
Damn thief. Pilfering the crystals that were meant to fill our cups, and us common folk have hardly had a shard to share between us these last few... And it isn't as if we can buy them on the black market, either.
Do you have a moment?
Depends what.
Just a question. Dalamil seems to be thriving compared to the other villages I came through on the way.
Well, we're a stone's throw from Drake's Fact. The soldiers guarding the Mother Crystal and the shipments need a place to spend their hard-earned gil. The men of the Rock throw their money about like there's no tomorrow.
Is that so? Well, thank you. Don't let me keep you from your work any longer.
A word of advice, traveller. You see pots like this around town, you leave them alone. Unlike where you come from, fresh water's in short supply around these parts. We store what little rainwater we get in these pots for, well, not a rainy day, but you know what I mean.
Needed to a silken softness.
You wouldn't believe how much you gave me. What can I do for you, soldier? Need that sword?
I'm not...
Ugh, then be off with you. I serve the men of the Rock and the men of the...
You have...
Don't be stupid. I just know we don't want to be stuck under some pauper when they come knocking. With pockets deeper than Zemeckis and an urge to empty them. No, just leave, will you?
I think I'm starting to get an idea of what's been going on. I wonder if Uncle Byron's learned anything of use. He'll probably be back at the inn by now.
Fragrant herbs and
My carpets have...
What was all that crashing and banging about before?
It's you. The one who... What do you want? Haven't you called...
I'm looking for my pal.
The gentleman who was with you? Yes, he's...
Thank you.
Will this suffice as a deposit?
By the sands. That's a black pearl.
One of the many treasures in my collection that I would be only too happy to part with, should you give me reason to do so.
All right. I'm sure that we can come to an agreement, but not here.
What are you doing, Uncle? Care to explain where you're...
Bait, my boy. One cannot... And I do believe I've snagged us quite the quarry. I started by asking around the markets as to where... I had no luck, of course. But my uncharacteristic indiscretion
just happened to attract the attention of those uniformed ruffians. They took me aside and said they could procure the crystallized sort if I proved I could pay for it.
So the pearl was your proof?
I thought they'd ask for more. A second-rate specimen like that would only fetch 500,000 or so. A small price to pay for admittance to the underworld. But enough about my little act of subterfuge.
That the supply of crystals has dried up of late. Meanwhile, members of Kupka's private guard have been spending money all over town. I'll wager those soldiers you've been talking to have been siphoning off crystals meant for elsewhere.
And I'll wager you're right.
We'll meet with them then, and put an end to the trouble, Lubor.
Ha! That preening popinjay thought... It just goes to show, one should never underestimate a... I arranged to meet with the soldiers in a secluded corner of the Velcroy, far from prying eyes.
The perfect place for a spot of double dealing.
I trust I can count on your support. If things turn sour.
Of course.
Let me treat you. I need a drink.
Fucking men of the wrong. Anytime they pull their snouts out of Kupka's trough is when they want to lord it over us.
Light it, for Gilbert's sake. Just look at the details.
Weights and pots!
Do you think they'll be back? See, I need a new dress. If they pay anything like last.
Yes, they're quite sort of.
Ready, go? Fly, Ambrosia.
Straight home now.
Turn around, friend. There's nothing back there but a pack of bloodthirsty beasts.
We'll take it from here.
I was beginning to think you weren't coming, my lord. You've brought your contribution?
All the silver and stones I could scrape together at such short notice?
You brought the whole 500 talents.
That was the price we agreed upon, yes? If you've no objections, I'd like to see the crystal.
Of course. Right this way, my lord.
Not bad at all. You weren't lying about the clarity. But what of security? If I were to be stopped on the road, what guarantee have I that it wouldn't be seized as property of the Republic?
Because these crystals are no longer the property of the Republic. You're not buying from us. You're buying from them.
And we have no more jurisdiction here than you, my lord. But we have ships, and will gladly deliver to a port of your choosing, now that our price has been met.
Royalists, eh? What brings you here?
Why, to collect their share of Drake's Fang's blessing, of course. Our nations are allies, and so they are entitled to a portion of the Mother Crystal's bounty. And being such good friends, we elected to increase that portion and share the benefits. And now that these crystals are officially property of the Kingdom of Waloed, we are duty-bound not to interfere, no matter where they might happen to end up next.
Did you get all that? They're in cahoots!
So it would seem.
My lord, what is the meaning of this?
Double-crossing dogs. They're not here to do business. Kill them. Kill them both!
It's over!
It's not over yet, Uncle!
Good! I'm just getting warmed up!
This one! Go for it! Second! Go for it! Over here! Over here! Get him! This one! Get him! Go for it!
Well, how'd you like my performance, huh? I've often played the villain on the stage.
Greybeard, you were magnificent. The battle scene was particularly thrilling. Such a shame you didn't have more of an audience, but...
How long have you been watching?
Long enough to witness your uncle's sordid transaction. I hardly expected one so venerable to degrade himself so thoroughly. Buying one's...
This was the trouble you spoke of. The men of the Rock taking crystals meant for the common folk and conspire... Well...
Indeed it is. The people of Dalimil had scarcely any means of redress against Kupka's men, let alone a foreign. Until you two... Well, we'd better get these crystals back to town. You won't mind waiting with them while I fetch a wagon. It occurs to me that I still don't know
Clive.
Well, Clive, you held up to tell that those left behind have been encouraged to look the other way should you attempt to pass through.
Thank you. And please allow... you still have the purse I gave to the soldiers, I trust? I saw you pluck it from one of the bodies.
Oh, dear. Was I really so obvious?
And my name is not Greybeard. It is Lord Byron Rosfield, thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Greybeard.
Of all the... Ugh!
Here, wear this. Any friend of mine who sees you with it shall be a friend of...
Thank you, Lubor.
And please, feel free to send one of my Stoluses back to your people. Tell them that Rosina Dalimil is back in bed with Cid.
Omia Lostelan. Tuisa Achilles.
I'm trusting you, Cid. Or should I say, Clive. So be sure not to let me down. I have a reputation to uphold. Well then, I wish you...
Thank you.
Not at all.
Come on, Uncle.
Wish to talk? I'm honored. How very... Of course. They're simply... Ours is a blessed... At least they did. So... You and I... What? Alas. Still... Don't be a stranger.
I've never even forged a button. Perhaps Forge Master Luber's having fun at my...
I wouldn't put it past.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I'm Sava, Master Luber's least accomplished apprentice. Soon to be former apprentice if I don't pass this test. People are buying up weapons faster than the Briar's Kiss can forge them, and here I am, unable to make a decent bit of kitchenware. He wants me to make a carving knife, one that embodies the spirit of doubt. I don't suppose you have any idea.
I'm afraid not.
Never mind. Thought I'd ask. It was that, or...
I could give you a hand. I know how busy the Briar's Kiss has been. And that Lub...
I'd be a
So...
Good question. And then there's this little riddle to keep in mind.
The way I see it, there's only one way we'll be solving it. We need information.
You're right now. There's plenty. There's the butcher. They're bound to... All right. I think I'll talk to every cook I can find.
All right.
Let's hope that someone says...
Trust Lubor to take a simple test and turn it into a riddle. I better get to it.
The finest fabrics, fresh from the capital.
Take a sniff, good sir. Be transported.
Needed to a silken sock.
Welcome, sir.
A question. I need to know what makes a...
You a blacksmith or something?
Something.
Fair enough. Now, first and foremost, it's got to hold an edge. Most knives will make it through fat, no problem, but sinew dulls cheap steel in no time. Give me a blade which can slice through anything that crosses my chopping block, and I'm a happy woman.
So a knife that stays sharp.
Put a knife with an edge like Odin's razor in my hand, and I'll make short work of any carcass.
Have a taste.
Everything I've worked for. All those years of toil. The baths are closed. On second thought, perhaps you are...
That depends on the job.
I'd have you save my business, the baths. The water's turned scalding hot and all the crystals in... I've no doubt that my woes stem from the water's source. But I can't go and investigate for fear of my customers. I'm bound to these baths in more ways than one. I beg of you. Go to Dust...
All right.
Wonderful. It's not far. Leave the market by the south gate. The smell of these baths are all that keep me from an ignoble end in my livelihood, my...
Made from the stoutest stoneware.
Needed to a silken softness.
It would make a
My
fine
carpets
gift for
have
your
pride
mother.
of place in Castle
She'll look at you in
Dasbog.
quite a different
You too
light,
can
I'm
live
sure.
like a lord.
Sweet incense!
Ha! They've opened the gate!
Lubor was true to his word.
We can make our way back to the Fang now, at least.
Sorry.
Hunter.
I have a question. Can you tell me...
Has to be able to put up with some punishment. Can't be dealing with a brittle blade. Not what your knife snaps every time you use it. You'll be spending coin as fast as you make it. Times are hard enough as it is.
Thank you.
All business, eh? Man up.
So, a carving knife should be hard-wearing and hold an edge. Hardly a revelation. Let's hope Sava had better luck than I did.
Silver platters! Plates and pots!
Fresh bread, warm from the oven.
The most fragrant herbs and spices.
So, how'd it go? You learn anything useful, or...?
Only that a blade should be durable and stay sharp.
I didn't have much luck either. All the cook said was that he needs his knives to be light. too heavy, and they do his shoulder.
So we're no better off than when we... Perhaps Lubor didn't mean anything with his Dalamil remark, but that can't be right. I've bandied enough words with the man to know that he chooses... No. We must...
No doubt you're right. I have to make a start soon.
Agreed.
Right. I've been trained to work iron. The cheap stuff, mind. But it's hardy enough if you don't hammer it too thin, and it sharpens up nicely with a bit of effort. Trouble is, it's either durable or it's light. Meaning someone is going to be disappointed.
Is there no one else you can turn to?
The other apprentices know better than to help me with my test. A merchant, a favourite of Forge Master Lubor's, who sells metals to... I bet she'd know a thing or...
Come on. Thanks, Gal.
So, Lord Cook has finally made his move.
Who do you think those soldiers were? Friends, I wager. Not that they looked very friendly.
Any luck? Or will you be needing help with your bags?
Well, I asked her, but... you tell him.
If you're looking to make a knife that will impress a master like Lubor, there are options. They're just not that viable. Featherlight adamantite knives will get passed from generation to generation, never needing so much as a lick of the whetstone. But adamantite ore is unique to ash, so it doesn't come cheap.
And it's beyond my skill to handle.
Unique to ash. Are there any materials unique to Dalamil? Something which could be mixed with iron to refine it. Make it lighter.
What are you getting at?
You said that Lubor trained you to work iron. Then that's what he'll expect you to use. But he would have known that it would either be too heavy or too brittle for a carving knife. Perhaps his Dalamil remark wasn't a riddle.
If it's cheap metal you're using, then there's always limestone, I suppose. Folk first settled Dalamil to get at her mineral deposits. And, if you know the trick, it can be melted down in the furnace to drive out impurities from low-quality iron.
Bloody hell! That must be it! I don't suppose you know the trick, do you?
It's hardly my speciality, but I've been around.
Looks like I've got some learning to do. Clive, I hate to ask...
Limestone? Besides, I want...
You'll have no trouble finding limestone over in the terraces.
Then I suppose I'll meet you...
Right you are. So, do you crush it up, or just throw it in the furnace?
Let's go.
Is it true what I'm hearing?
The finest factory!
Yes, they're quite sought after.
Light, meat, and dark. Fresh from the...
We should get going soon.
Ah, I'm not too late.
What is it, Lubor?
A question that I neglected to ask earlier. Where is it that you're bound?
To Drake's Fang. To finish Hugo Kupka.
Just as I thought. Then allow me to share a secret. Drake's Fang is currently riddled with royalists. Talmeki and Waloed are allies, and as you have seen, their soldiers work hand in glove. But no nation has ever before allowed a foreign army to make a barracks of its holiest of holies.
Not by choice, at least.
And there's more. A man on the inside of the Fang has failed to report for several days. I fear there may be more trouble. If you're determined to beard the lion's den, then promise me one thing. I've lost one Cid already. What?
Drake's Fang should be just beyond these springs. Shall we press on?
One rock looks a lot like another. But hopefully this is what Sava needs.
Finally, we'll be able to get what's owed us.
Hanging lanterns, keep the darkness from your... Just look at the...
Made from the stoutest stoneware.
Kneaded to a silken softness.
Take a sniff, good sir.
Hard carpets have pride of place.
I wasn't sure how much, but I hope this is...
You are one of the... You and that merchant both. She's got quite a gift for teaching. Now, time to see if... A knife forged from the very rocks of Dalimil. Her spirit.
It's a fine-looking...
That sounds like my cue. And just as well.
I'm sorry, Forge Master Lubor.
Let's take a look then, shall we? First things first, Sava, do you think this is a carving knife worthy of the fine people of Dalimil?
I'd like to think so. But what do you think?
What do I think indeed? It's sharp-ish. But it won't last long with hard use. And it's heavy. Heavier than it should be. You might not think it just to hold it for a moment, but sell that to a cook and you'll never hear the end of it. It looks like someone paid a visit to the terraces. The limestone was a step in the right direction, granted, but one that still leaves you short of the mark.
And I was so certain I had it all worked out.
I don't know who you found to teach you that little trick, but it certainly shows initiative. Next question. How much do you think I would charge if I'd made this?
Well, if it took you even a fraction of the time it took me, I would say you could demand a heavy purse.
And who would be able to pay that? The butcher? The hunter? The cooks over at the inn? Dalimil is home to humble traders, not wealthy lords and ladies. Rule number 1 in any business, Sava: know your customers.
Yes, Forge Master.
This is just about passable. But only just. I'd say you're worth keeping around a little longer. Starting tomorrow, you'll have an anvil of your own.
I will. Thank you. I was wondering, what would you do if you were asked to forge a carving knife?
I'd do what I always do. Ask who it's for. If it was for the butcher, I'd make sure it holds an edge. For the hunter, I'd make it as tough as Titan. For the cook, light as a feather. And for the nobleman, I'd make it cost an absolute fortune.
There goes a master, all right.
It looks like congratulations are in order.
I couldn't have done it without you. So much for the Forge Master's riddle, though, eh? The spirit of Dalimil had nothing to do with limestone or anything much at all. Meaning,
You've passed your test. That's all that matters.
And when I do, I'll craft you the Thank you, Clive. I honestly don't think I could have done it without all your help.
The finest fabrics! Fresh from
The juiciest meat from Green's Bed.
Plates and pots!
Silver platters, sweet incense.
Finally, we'll be able to get what's owed us.
We should get going soon.
Come on.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Come on, girl, the gate's open now, we can press on.
What the hell are those things?
By the flames. That explains the heat. cool things down a bit. Let's hope it's enough to keep the baths from boiling.
This is no good. I was hoping to get out.
Is it true what I'm hearing?
The finest fabric!
Take a sniff, good sir.
Kneaded to a silken softness, like eating a cloud with a crust.
Made from the stoutest... There he is. The man I was hoping we'd be seeing you. The baths grow more bearable by the moment. It won't be long now before we are back.
I'm glad to hear it.
Now, tell me this. What did you find at the terrace?
Not what I expected, that's...
You tell a fine story. That's not to say I don't believe you, though. Creatures made of flame, eh? But I burdened you... Right. It's high time I got back to work with it. It's just as well I sent you to the terraces in my stead. It sounds like I'd have been burnt to a crisp.
The, scrubbing is almost finished. We appreciate your patience.
Plates and pots! Bowls and basins!
Fresh bread,
The
warm
juiciest
from the
meat
oven.
from greens. Yes, they're quite sought
I can't let anyone in until I've cleaned up the mess you and your friend made. I hope you realise how much your little spatters cost us.
Well, this is no good.